Kindness is one of the greatest gifts you can give to the world. It reflects your heart, your compassion, and your character. But what happens when you keep giving and giving only to be met with ungratefulness, indifference, or even disrespect? Some people will see your kindness as a weakness. They will take advantage of your good nature, expecting you to always be there, to always say yes, to always extend a helping hand, even when they do nothing to deserve it. Life has a way of teaching you that not everyone is worthy of your kindness. There are people who take but never give, who expect but never appreciate, who use but never reciprocate. If you continue to pour into others without discernment, you'll find yourself emotionally drained, mentally exhausted, and spiritually empty. You'll start to wonder why you feel so unappreciated, why your kindness isn't met with kindness in return. But the truth is, kindness should be earned, not wasted. Being kind doesn't mean you have to be available to everyone at all times. It doesn't mean you have to be the one who always sacrifices, always bends, always puts others ahead of yourself. Too often people mistake kindness for weakness. They assume that because you're always there, they can take you for granted. They assume that because you don't complain, you're okay with being used. They assume that because you continue to give, they're entitled to receive. But you were not created to be a doormat. You are not designed to be drained by people who don't respect your kindness. It is not your job to be a constant source of support for those who refuse to give anything in return. It is not your responsibility to keep people happy at the expense of your own peace. When you give kindness freely without wisdom, you set yourself up for disappointment. You allow yourself to be mistreated, undervalued, and taken for granted. You have to recognize that your kindness is valuable. It is a privilege, not a right. The people who receive your kindness should appreciate it, respect it, and reciprocate it in some way. That doesn't mean you should only be kind when you expect something in return, but it does mean that you need to be mindful of where your kindness goes. Because if you continue to give to those who don't value it, you're not helping them, you're enabling them. You're allowing them to believe that they can take from others without ever giving back. You're teaching them that your time, your energy, and your kindness are unlimited, and they'll continue to take as long as you allow them to. There are people in your life right now who expect your kindness but do nothing to deserve it. They come to you when they need something, but they're nowhere to be found when you need support. They drain you emotionally with their problems, their complaints, their negativity, but they never pour anything back into you. They lean on you when life gets hard, but they don't celebrate you when things are going well in your life. And yet you continue to give, thinking that one day they'll change, one day they'll appreciate you, one day they'll finally recognize everything you've done for them. But that day may never come. The hard truth is that some people will never appreciate your kindness because they've never had to earn it. It has always been freely given, and they see it as something they're entitled to rather than something they should be grateful for. And as long as you continue to give without boundaries, they will continue to take without guilt. That's why it's time to start being selective with your kindness. It's time to recognize that not everyone deserves your energy, your time, or your efforts. It's not about being selfish, it's about being wise. It's about understanding that your kindness should be given to those who appreciate it, not wasted on those who abuse it. It's about making sure that your kindness is a gift, not an expectation. You have a heart that wants to help, to fix, to uplift. You see people struggling and you feel responsible for them. You hear their problems and you want to be the one who provides the answers. You watch them go through hardships and you believe it's your job to pull them out. But the truth is, not everyone is your assignment. You were not placed on this earth to rescue every broken person you meet. You are not called to fix people who refuse to fix themselves. There are people in your life right now who are pulling on you, draining you, taking from you, people you feel obligated to help, even when helping them comes at the cost of your own peace. You keep showing up, keep giving, keep investing your time, your emotions, your energy, and yet no matter how much you do, it never seems to be enough. No matter how much advice you give, they don't change. No matter how many times you extend a hand, they stay in the same cycle. No matter how many times you encourage them, they continue to complain, to dwell in negativity, to make the same bad decisions over and over again. You have to realize that some people don't want to be helped. Some people don't want solutions, they want sympathy. They don't want change, they want comfort. They don't want to grow, they want to stay exactly where they are, and they want you to stay there with them. And the more you try to push them toward change, the more they resist. The more you pour into them, the more they drain you. You're carrying a weight that was never meant to be yours. It's not your responsibility to fix people who don't want to be fixed. It's not your calling to sacrifice your own happiness, your own peace, your own success for people who refuse to take responsibility for their own lives. You can encourage them, you can pray for them, you can offer guidance, but at the end of the day, they have to make the choice to change. And if they won't, you have to be okay with stepping back. Some of you are exhausted, not because of your own problems, but because you've taken on problems that don't belong to you. You're fighting battles that aren't yours. You're trying to fix things that aren't your responsibility. You've become so consumed with helping others that you've neglected yourself. You've allowed their chaos to become your chaos, their burdens to become your burdens, their struggles to become your struggles. But you weren't created to carry everyone. You weren't called to save every person you meet. You have your own journey, your own purpose, your own destiny. And if you keep getting entangled in other people's dysfunction, you'll never step into the life you were meant to live. Some people are in your life for a reason, but not everyone is meant to stay. Some people come into your life as lessons, not lifelong assignments. Some people are there for a season, not a lifetime. But if you keep holding on to them, if you keep carrying them, if you keep making them your responsibility, you'll end up missing out on your own calling. You'll be so busy fixing their lives that you neglect your own. You have to recognize when it's time to step back. You have to understand that saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you've realized that you can't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. You can't lose yourself trying to save someone who doesn't want to be saved. You can love people without losing yourself in the process. You can be kind without becoming their crutch. You can support them without sacrificing your own well-being. Not everyone is your assignment. Not everyone is meant to be carried. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you can step into the peace, the freedom, and the purpose that was meant for you. There comes a time in life when you have to make a decision. Do you continue to allow others to pull you in every direction, or do you finally take control and protect your peace? Too often people assume that protecting their peace is selfish. They believe that saying no, setting boundaries, or walking away from toxic situations means they aren't being loving. But real love, real kindness, doesn't mean sacrificing yourself to keep others comfortable. It doesn't mean allowing yourself to be drained, manipulated, or mistreated in the name of being a good person. Your peace is one of the most valuable things you have, and once you lose it, it's hard to get it back. There are people in your life who don't respect your peace. They bring drama, negativity, and chaos into your world, and they expect you to deal with it. They dump their problems on you without considering how it affects you. They expect you to always listen, always be there, always take on their stress without ever considering how much it's weighing you down. If you're not careful, you will become a dumping ground for other people's issues. You will allow their problems to become your problems. You will allow their constant negativity to steal your joy. You will allow their drama to consume your mind. And before you know it, you'll be living in a state of constant stress, exhaustion, and frustration, not because of your own life, but because you never set boundaries to protect your peace. You have to stop feeling guilty for walking away from conversations, situations, and even relationships that rob you of your peace. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. Not everyone should have the ability to disrupt your emotions. Not every problem requires your involvement. You don't have to engage in every argument. You don't have to entertain every conflict. You don't have to fix every situation. Some things are best left alone, not because you don't care, but because your peace matters more than proving a point. There will always be people who try to test your boundaries, people who push, manipulate, or guilt trip you into staying in situations that are damaging to you. They will say you've changed. They will say you don't care. They will try to make you feel bad for choosing yourself. But here's the truth. You are not responsible for how others feel about your decision to protect your peace. You are not obligated to live in discomfort just to make someone else happy. You are not required to be the emotional dumping ground for people who refuse to take responsibility for their own lives. There are conversations you don't need to have. There are relationships you don't need to maintain. There are places you don't need to go. Every time you allow something into your life that disrupts your peace, you are giving away a piece of yourself. You are letting someone else control your emotions, your thoughts, your energy. But the moment you decide to protect your peace, everything changes. Protecting your peace means knowing when to walk away. It means recognizing when a conversation is no longer productive. It means understanding that you don't have to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. It means refusing to be drawn into unnecessary drama, conflict, or negativity. It means choosing yourself not in a selfish way, but in a way that honors the life you were meant to live. Too many people live in a constant state of stress because they are afraid to let go of what no longer serves them. They keep toxic relationships because they don't want to seem unkind. They stay in draining friendships because they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. They engage in arguments because they feel the need to defend themselves. But in the process, they sacrifice their peace. They lose sleep over things that don't matter. They carry burdens that were never meant for them. They live in a state of exhaustion because they never learned to say no. When you start protecting your peace, you will notice a shift in your life. The things that used to stress you won't have the same power over you. The people who used to drain you won't have access to your emotions. The situations that used to consume your mind will no longer take up space. You will begin to feel lighter, freer, more in control. Not because your life is perfect, but because you have chosen to guard what matters most. Your peace is your responsibility. No one else will protect it for you. If you don't set boundaries, people will keep pushing. If you don't say no, people will keep taking. If you don't walk away from chaos, you will continue to live in it. Protect your peace at all costs, because once it's gone, you'll realize that no amount of kindness was worth losing yourself. Kindness is a beautiful thing. It is a reflection of your heart, your character, and your desire to make the world a better place. But kindness, when not guided by wisdom, can lead to weakness. Being kind is not the same as being naive. It does not mean you should allow people to take advantage of you, manipulate you, or walk all over you. When kindness is given without discernment, it stops being a strength and starts becoming a liability. There are people in your life who see your kindness and mistake it for something they can use. They take your generosity without gratitude, your help without humility, your support without reciprocity. They know that you are always willing to listen, to give, to be there no matter what, and instead of respecting that kindness, they exploit it. They call you only when they need something. They rely on you to clean up their messes. They expect you to always say yes because you never say no. And if you are not careful, you will find yourself drained, exhausted, and unappreciated, not because you lack kindness, but because you lack wisdom in where you place it. You have to understand that kindness is a choice. And like any choice, it must be made with discernment. Not everyone deserves your time. Not everyone should have access to your generosity. Not every situation requires your involvement. If you continue to give to people who only take, you are not helping them, you are enabling them. If you continue to say yes when you should say no, you are not being kind, you are being taken advantage of. Being wise with your kindness means recognizing when it is being misused. It means understanding that love does not mean tolerating mistreatment. It means knowing that you can be a good person and still walk away from people who disrespect you. It means realizing that you are not obligated to give endlessly to those who never give anything in return. If your kindness is constantly being met with entitlement instead of gratitude, it is time to reevaluate where you are placing it. There are people who will only come to you when they need something. They will disappear when life is good, but the moment they need help, they suddenly remember your number. They will expect you to listen to their problems, but when you need someone to listen, they are nowhere to be found. They will drain your energy, your emotions, your resources, and they will never stop unless you set boundaries. Kindness without wisdom is like giving all your water to others while you are dying of thirst. You cannot keep pouring into others if you have nothing left for yourself. You cannot keep saying yes if it is costing you your peace, your well-being, your happiness. You have to recognize that your kindness should be given to those who value it, not to those who see it as something they are entitled to. There is a difference between helping someone and carrying them. Helping someone means offering support, guidance, and encouragement as they work toward their own growth. Carrying someone means doing all the work while they put in no effort. When you carry people who refuse to walk on their own, you are not helping them, you are keeping them weak. You are allowing them to stay in a place of dependency rather than pushing them toward their own strength. Being wise with your kindness means setting limits. It means knowing when to say no. It means recognizing when you are being used. It means understanding that not everyone deserves your energy. It means realizing that your kindness is not meant to be handed out to everyone without thought. Some people will only take as much as you allow them to. Some people will only change when they are forced to stand on their own. Some people will only learn the value of your kindness when they no longer have access to it. There will be times when people accuse you of being selfish when you start setting boundaries. They will say you've changed. They will try to guilt you into continuing to give in the way they have become accustomed to. But what they are really saying is that they don't like that they can no longer control you. They don't like that they can no longer manipulate your kindness for their own benefit. They don't like that you are finally choosing yourself. You have to be strong enough to let go of those who only see your kindness as an opportunity for their own gain. You have to be bold enough to say no to people who only want to use you. You have to be wise enough to protect your energy from those who do not respect it. Because when kindness is given without wisdom, it becomes a weakness. It allows others to take advantage of you, to drain you, to control you. But when kindness is guided by wisdom, it becomes a powerful force. It allows you to give in a way that is meaningful, in a way that is respected, in a way that does not come at the cost of your own well-being. There comes a point in life when you have to stop looking around at everyone else and start looking within. You have spent so much time trying to be there for people, trying to fix things, trying to hold everything together for everyone else. But what about you? What about your dreams? What about your goals? What about your own happiness? You cannot keep putting yourself on hold for the sake of others. You cannot keep sacrificing your own growth because you feel obligated to carry people who refuse to grow themselves. At some point, you have to realize that your life matters just as much as the lives of those around you. You have so much potential, so many gifts, so many opportunities waiting for you. But if you are constantly distracted by other people's problems, you will never have the time or energy to invest in yourself. You cannot build your future while carrying everyone else's burdens. You cannot move forward if you are always stopping to pull others up. Growth requires focus. It requires effort. It requires the ability to say, I am choosing myself right now. That is not selfishness. That is wisdom. Because the truth is, if you do not take care of yourself, you will have nothing left to give anyone else. Think about the time you have spent worrying about people who do not worry about you. Think about the energy you have wasted trying to please people who will never be satisfied. Think about the hours, the days, the years you have given to relationships, friendships, and situations that were not helping you grow but were instead holding you back. You cannot get that time back, but you can make a decision today to stop repeating that same cycle. You can decide that from this moment on, you will no longer allow distractions to pull you away from your destiny. You will no longer put yourself last. You will no longer give your best to people who do not appreciate it. Focusing on your own growth does not mean you stop caring about others. It does not mean you become cold or unkind. It simply means that you recognize that your life has a purpose, and that purpose is not to be drained by people who refuse to take responsibility for themselves. You can love people without letting them pull you away from your path. You can support others without sacrificing your own progress. The moment you start prioritizing your own growth, you will begin to see doors open that you never noticed before. You will have more clarity, more energy, more motivation. You will start to attract people who value you, respect you, and support your journey instead of just taking from you. There are dreams inside you that have been buried under years of distractions. There are goals you have set aside because you were too busy helping everyone else reach theirs. There are passions and talents that you have ignored because you were too caught up in what others needed from you. But now is the time to bring those things back to life. Now is the time to start investing in yourself. Now is the time to grow into the person you were always meant to be. Growth requires change, and change is uncomfortable. Some people will not like it when you start focusing on yourself. They will not understand why you are no longer as available as you used to be. They will try to make you feel guilty for choosing yourself, but you cannot let that stop you. The people who truly love you will support your growth. The people who genuinely care about you will want to see you succeed. And the ones who try to hold you back, they were never meant to go with you into your next season. Your future is waiting for you. Your dreams are waiting for you. Your best self is waiting for you. But none of it will happen if you keep allowing distractions to steal your time, your energy, and your focus. You have spent enough time putting yourself last. Now is the time to put yourself first. Because when you grow, everything in your life grows with you. Life is too short to spend it constantly giving to those who do not appreciate, respect, or reciprocate your kindness. You were not created to be a doormat, a fixer, or an endless source of support for people who refuse to take responsibility for their own lives. Kindness is a gift, but it should be given with wisdom. Not everyone deserves access to your time, your energy, or your heart. When you keep pouring into people who only take, you are not being kind. You are allowing yourself to be drained. It is time to set boundaries. It is time to protect your peace. It is time to stop making other people your assignment when they refuse to grow. You cannot save those who do not want to be saved. You cannot carry people who refuse to walk. You cannot allow guilt, obligation, or fear to keep you stuck in cycles of exhaustion and frustration. Now is the time to choose yourself, to invest in your own growth, to pursue your own dreams, to surround yourself with people who uplift you rather than drain you. You do not have to feel guilty for walking away from toxic relationships, from one-sided friendships, from environments that steal your joy. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be at peace. You deserve to give your kindness to those who truly appreciate it. Stop being kind to everyone at the expense of yourself. Not because kindness is wrong, but because kindness without wisdom leads to weakness. It is time to take back your power. It is time to step into the life you were meant to live. The right people will respect your boundaries. The wrong people will fall away. And in the end, you will realize that protecting your heart, your energy, and your purpose was the greatest act of kindness you could ever give to yourself.